Ghekos have come in, taking these Clatter by storm. And Yokito is a largely unknown coach, although rumors are abounding of him being a reincarnated Shogun warrior who is now coaching this Blood Bowl team. So we are seeing now the Lizards basically just quickly engaging these dangerous orcs with a lot of guard and exposing a couple of their skinks, and the orcs decide to go skink hunting. My name is Serious Jest, by the way. I will be joined shortly by my co-host Dymntd, who's coming in, but because this game is still ongoing, and the result, I haven't looked at the results, so I don't know who's going to come out on top winning so far, but the game is still ongoing. So I wanted to get a jump on trying to back up so you guys can watch it from the beginning and get some quick play-by-play rapid-fire commentary from me, but you don't have to sit through in the earlier plays, you don't have to sit through the deliberation of the coaches. And because we're dealing with 3-minute turns, this is actually going to move a lot faster than what is happening on the field from the coaches, at least you know what history shows us in the cup. So the Lizards commit heavily to marking up the orcs and making life difficult for them. Normally that's a problem for a lot of teams because you're dealing with all of this strength 4 and strength 5. And the orcs, though, have a ton of guard and a ton of block that the Lizards don't have. And that's why the orcs are even confident to throw a red die block, and it's the red die block that puts the first source out of the game. And that's their backbone right there. Mindas knocked out. That's tough. Actually, Mindas was already knocked out. It's Karnowak that goes out for the whole game. So, wow, what a start already for the orcs, kind of setting the pace that, yo, we will bash you to death. Don't bring that ruckus over this way, because we will quickly put you in your place. There's one alpha dog here, and it's the orcs, is what they're saying. Lizard's not able to do much other than just back up the orcs a little bit temporarily, and here comes an onslaught of a bunch of other blocks. Ooh, down goes another Saurus, another unskilled Saurus. Again, we said if you get the chance, check back on this Twitch. We did a preview of the whole first round of the Cup and all the teams, and we said one of the problems here for the Lizards when they're facing off against the Orcs is this is just a bad matchup because so many of these Saurus, Saurus suffered a bunch of carnage in the regular season and lost a bunch of their Saurus, and now they're dealing with a lot of unskilled Saurus, and the orcs are taking full advantage of that. I don't know what the inducements were up, but I guess it's answered because the fireball jumps in. That was an early use of it. It does free the ball up, and in the rain, picking that back up is going to be kind of a problem. So now, let's see if the skinkity skinks do what they're good at doing, and yeah, I wonder if I could just start subbing the word skink in for real words, like they do on the Smurfs. Can the skinks get the skinkity ball? And again, a lot more marking. There's just a lot of marking, which can be very, very dangerous. Stunty in effect there, but tackle negates the dodge skill, and the skinkity skink is unable to skink the ball. And now we are in the top of turn 4. See how quick this is moving already? I think we will catch the end of this game before... The match started about a half hour before the first game in our doubleheader here being broadcast. So it's been significantly into the match already. But I think we will catch up pretty quickly to the action. At least if you see that white line down there, you see how far behind we are back, or that white bar. But it's even possible at this rate we might be done with the first half by the time my co-host gets back into the chat. So we see the orcs just maximizing the hits, and they're not just skink hunting, they're going after the Saurus. They've already had success knocking 2 of them out, and that's a huge blow. I mean, losing 1 Saurus is bad enough. Now you're out 2, 1 permanently, and one of them that's out is your guy with all the skills, including the break tackle. And it looks like the Saurus is just going to keep throwing themselves against the wall. And the orcs have managed to pick that ball back up, so basically they've gotten rid of that wizard and kind of neutralized the inducements a little bit. I don't know what other inducements were taken. Maybe some babes? The wizard seems to be gone. The Ghekos roll in. They regularly roll with 5 rerolls. They've already burned 2 of them, so they only have 3 here in turn 4. And now they're backing up and kind of constructing a column defense. So, all right, so again, if you're just tuning in, this is, we restarted the game back from the beginning since we missed the beginning of it because we had our first doubleheader game match still going on. However, this game is still live and ongoing, but what we're doing is watching the earlier turns. So it's going super fast because we're not waiting for the coaches to deliberate before they move their players. You're just seeing the movements kick in. So I get to go rapid fire assault of commentary, and you're seeing basically this has been the tale of Bash. This is I was surprised to see the lizards just mark up all these orcs right from the door, get real close to each other and dare them to hit them. And the orcs said, "Okay, you dare me, I'm going to do it." And the lizard said, "I double dog dare you." And then the orcs did it and beat the hell out of the lizards. So now you have 2 Saurus out. The skinks miraculously are all still on the pitch. The ones that started on the pitch. The wizard has been used and managed to free the ball up, but the orcs picked up that ball again in the rain like it was nothing. So, had to be a little frustrating. And again, there's just, I guess with 2 skinks in reserve, you can afford to be kind of cavalier with these guys. And we're gonna see a single die block from a strength 3 skink, which just looks like it just manages to annoy Ignusa, the blitzer. And they're gonna put a second skink on him with diving tackle. They were trying to get, okay, they're trying to get a third skink on him, but unable to. And this whole marking technique in the beginning I wasn't a fan of, but they have managed to get to the ball. And this just using the skinks with reckless abandon and not trying to preserve them, it could backfire, but for now, it's got to be a bit of a nuisance to the orcs. We're just trying to walk that ball into the end zone. That's all they want to do. Why these skinks got to make it so hard for them? And there we go. Now the skinks find themselves paying for it. Juan Des Martin gets injured, and Apo will not be used. He is gone for the game, so that's a diving tackle skink. Very, very important. But fortunately for the for Yokito, it is not the strength plus skink. And are you going to see the ball carrier free himself up? He does have the dodge skill. Yep. So and it becomes useful because he otherwise would have failed it. And there goes a cage. It's a loose cage, but it is a cage nonetheless. Here's the thing. Yes, he put himself right on a prone Saurus who would just get up and take a hit at him. However, you notice these 2 little guard icons right there. It's going to be at a severe disadvantage. Maybe not. Maybe, yeah, so now they've marked him up this time with the Crocs, and these skinks, because of the strength 3, they're coming in hard. They don't care. They're, wow, this is just a reckless abandon of the pursuit of these orcs. They're just not afraid to take their lumps, and they have taken their lumps, and yet they're still kind of in this game. Anything can happen here. They're daring the orcs to get busy on them again. And once again, the orcs respond with a nasty blow. Conca de Sulil is KO'd. And now what to do about this Croxagore that's still hanging around the ball carrier with that vicious tail of his? Well, this is what you do. You come in and you give them a nice little swipe away from the ball carrier. But now the problem is with the skinks where they are, what do you do with the ball carrier? Mark up both those skinks, and then you run your ball carrier over to the right past them, dare them get to you. Now remember, Stunty is a bitch of a skill. It can allow these skinks to touch you wherever you are within their range. We are in turn 7 though, and if these skinks can delay that ball carrier a little bit, you could see the lizards going back into the second half, getting maybe 1 or 2 of those Saurus back, and mounting an offense. So this would be big. Unfortunately, the lack of skills on the Saurus, not enough, and even with the 2-die block, they are unable to fell the ball carrier and instead end up getting themselves messed up. An attack on the skinks forthcoming, obviously, because you got to take the skink hits wherever you could get them. Will any of this dice go bad for the orcs? And there's a frenzy attack on that blodging source, and it works out. They knock him to the ground, but no armor break. Again, this skink is just resilient as hell. The stripped up skinks, man, they're in the weight room constantly. You take a look at their chests, like booming out. It looked like a damn dwarf chest, how big those skinks got their chests. But you know, a valiant effort by the lizards. But basically, at you know, given what just happened, the lizards would have been better served sitting everybody back, trying to avoid hits, and just allow the orcs to run downfield and score on turn 8, which is really what they wanted to do. Now, in the rain, can the lizards one-turn it? They definitely have the movement to one-turn. And having some players off the pitch, if they got any of their knockouts back... Yeah, the orcs got a deep bench, too. They did not. They got neither of the knockouts back. However, let's switch to the offensive view. However... Can they still make the pushes necessary to get the one turn? It does not look like Yokito's setting up for a one turn. Instead, it looks like he's just hoping for... Oh, so the rain, actually, because of the freezing temperatures, the rain starts to freeze. It turns into hail, and now we're looking at a blizzard where it's mostly snow coming down. So whereas the rain was making it hard to pick up the ball or catch it or intercept it, now we're looking at the blizzard, which makes every go for it harder. And also, wow, a shot on that blitzer, EC Dolls, who's kind of the key player for the orcs. And it also makes, I want to say, it reduces passes to just short passes. All you can do is quick and short passes. And the lizards aren't even going to try the one-turner. Orcs set up a good little one-turn defense here by putting their players in a spot, not allowing the lizards to push people on an angle. A little skink-on-skink passing action, and that is the end of the first half. Dymntd, are you back in the chat yet?
I'm here, yep.
Alright, cool. If you want, what we can do is, so I can pause this at the spot where the kickoff event comes in, and then we can sync up, so you could actually rapid-fire commentary with me until we're back up, all caught up. Or would you prefer to just wait it out until I get there?
No, I was there, but now it looks like I just black screen. Oh, no, there we go. I'm seeing the kickoff now.
Oh, you're at midfield? You're at halftime? Awesome. Okay.
Yep.
So I'll freeze it at the kickoff event. All right.
Yep,
and
that's
then,
where I'm at.
All right, so you've got it paused while that little screen is up?
Yeah,
where it says, like, press X to skip? Okay, cool. Cool. So we know it's going to be a quick snap for the viewers, and here it comes. All right, so you have that up right now. All right, now hit skip on 3, 2, 1. Go. All right, so hopefully we're seeing... All right, so we see the little skinks Latsulashi run underneath the ball off the quick snap, or where it's going to land. And Blizzard is still in effect, but the skink passing game is not a big deal. They don't. I mean, it's pretty much non-existent usually, except for maybe that Agi 4 skink who might be able to pass if really needed to. Again, it would only be a short or a quick pass. But what it does affect is it makes GFIs harder, and GFIs are something the skinks often want to do. But you know, it's high risk to them because of the stunty, which if they catch an injury off of it, it can be absolutely devastating. And Yokito's not playing around with this. He's gonna immediately send that cage up the wide zone. They managed to get back one of the Saurus, but that guy, remember the that one Saurus that was skilled that we talked about?
Yeah,
in the previews?
he's been out the whole freaking game.
Yep, continues
just
to
didn't
nap.
want to wake up.
And yeah, he's kind of like, if you guys don't want to get me some help, I'm not playing. These unskilled Saurus are not doing the trick here. You guys are gonna get me killed. That Crocs is boneheaded, huh? That sucks.
Yep. Yeah.
But so
the orcs are just staying healthy and staying on the pitch. That's what they do, and it's not working out for the lizards.
It's a decent screen set up for the side, though. But what people underestimate the movement of the orcs. They do have enough to get back if they need to.
Yeah, those blitzers, they get the job done, and these got a move 7 blitzer there as well, which really helps.
In some ways, a orc team is more dynamic than a human team, even. Just because they have, at least they can do troll throw or goblin throws with the troll. Oh, this is huge over here. The frenzy has allowed him, even though he didn't fell the skink, it's allowed him to mark up the skink and not allow them to kind of like backfill a screen. So now we may be seeing these skinks kind of retreat and head back the other way.
No, he's just going to get ballsy.
Yeah, or you'll see that. So he's kind of on that. This is officially a potato. We got a real deal potato. Is this kind of we're referencing back to the earlier game between the Nurgle team, the Baltimore Blood, and the Skaven team XI? Is this kind of the same desperation, like the coach got kind of out, not out coached really, but the team got kind of beat up in the first half, and the coach gets the ball back, feels the need to tie it up, and there's another injury of a skink, sidestep skink, which could have been useful. This is a blodger, though, so big deal here. Ooh. Pushes him back against the sideline, and it meant that we may be seeing 2 stunty dodges for a touchdown is a possibility. Yeah. But was that the desperation, same kind of desperation play that Stump Humper kind of was hoping to get back in the game against the Nurgle?
Possibly, yeah. I mean, sometimes you just got to go for it.
Whoa! And there he does. That's 284% dodges, though. So to be honest, that should work. The tackle made him burn a reroll, but hey, he's got 5 of them heading into the match. And now we got a 1-1 score. I mean, the way that the Lizards were taking their lumps in that first half, I was kind of thinking like, I don't know, it doesn't look too good for him. But I guess they were in a rush to score because they definitely want that skilled Saurus back to do some damage.
But he doesn't come back.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty brutal.
It's tough hoeing for the Ghekos right now. And in honor of my friend Harry Warthog, who is in the chat watching, I haven't seen hoeing like this since college. Harry gets it.
All right, so where are you at?
So they're setting up for the kickoff. Kickoff is happening. You see the kickoff event right now? And I'm going to hit skip in 3, 2, 1, skip. Ghekos get an extra reroll this half, so that brings them to 6 total for the half. They're back up to 5 because they already burned 2 of them. And I'm going to switch views over to the Orc side because they're on offense. A nasty, nasty forearm block on the skink who they put on the line. Unorthodox to do that, but and it backfires. But then another Saurus down. These Orcs are just really... I mean, this reminds me of Arzo Wayne's championship team last year that was just all about the bash. They're just... every blow is devastating. I'll tell you what, man, if I end up playing these Orcs, definitely part of the strategy is just going to be stay away. I don't want any of what they're cooking up with that mighty blow.
Yeah, staying alive is going to be super important.
Uh-huh.
They got a good ball carrier, too.
Yeah. Did you know many good ball carriers in college? You are still in college, right?
No.
Oh, I thought you were... Okay, I'm sorry. I'm mixing you up.
I recently went to trade school, I did. But,
oh, cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, you tell me offline what particular trade. In season 3, I have a team called Blue Collar with an exclamation point, and in ode to one of my Blood Bowl friends here, a guy I respect. I created a character named the Refrigerator Repairman, or actually the Fridge Repairman. I had to cut it short for a character length. So you tell me offline, and I'll make a character in your honor. I'm not sure if one of them actually is already reflects that, but and of course I had the Postman. Postman is one of those guys. I had to create the team, in honor of Bernie.
I have a lot of
Wanting a
postmen across many teams now.
Yeah.
And so do other people at this point from
Yeah.
all the postmen zombies running around.
Yeah. I owed Bernie because I didn't put a postman on Swagger Squad. I just didn't. It didn't last long enough. I didn't manage to play enough games after the postman phenomenon started. I didn't lose enough guys that I had to replace.
I had the same problem with the Bloodier Elves. Just didn't have a crack at getting one on there.
It's weird, right? You usually lose so many with Wood Elves. Wow, another skink. Oh wait,
Foul.
Another skink off the pitch with the foul. The Apples used this time because that guy is necessary. I know some people are very much against using apothecaries on skinks, but you know you're dealing with a team full of undeveloped players, and really the stars on this team are the skinks. So I could see why he would use them on a strength 3, agility 4, right?
And if you don't get past this game, it doesn't matter who dies.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's all about winning this game.
They need, if they get another crack on offense, if there is a score against them rather, or if they go to overtime, they're going to need that Agi 4 skink. Not having him on the field right now is a definite loss.
Yeah, especially
that guy
already
can
having.
do anything.
They're already plagued with injuries. This is tough.
It's like you almost have to think like I understand the desperation of wanting to get back in the game and tie it up and all that jazz, but you know, scoring so early and allowing the Orcs so much time to get back downfield on you may perhaps not have been the best move. Then again, we saw these skinks, and I'm sorry, the whole Lizard team just harassed the hell out of the Orc offense last half so much that I don't even think it was forced to stall. Like I don't think it was a forced turn 8 stall. I think it naturally happened that way because they got harassed all the way downfield.
Yeah, he might have just scored when he did just to try and force the Orcs to have to try and stall it out till the end, giving him the maximum amount of turns to steal the ball away.
Maybe. It could be. And you see a nice little chain push here by one of the few improved or leveled or experienced Saurus on the screen. And there's another failed dodge by the skink.
Yeah.
They're going to burn the reroll. And
yeah.
Wow, we're already down to 2 rerolls left for the Lizards. They pretty much have had 6 if you count the extra one that they were given on the kickoff event.
I think I actually agree with scoring early because, yeah, it basically makes this half into the overtime. And the way the injuries are going, the Lizards can't afford overtime. They just can't.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I think maybe that was the right call.
So it was so risky. It's very, very risky. But I guess when you have an Agi 4 skink, there's not a lot of risk, right? It's like every dodge is an 83% dodge.
Yeah. Skinks like that are great. Like, there's 2, like, ridiculous 2 dream skinks on this team. That's just...
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, strength 3 definitely changes the phenomenon. And now you're seeing the Orcs breaking up that sideline. Yeah, just because they're an Orc team. I mean, again, don't sleep on their ability to get downfield when they need to. And that ball carrier right now is going to be, I mean, he's comfortably in a position where he could score. I mean, all he has to do is move one space and he could GFI it next turn. Oh, wow. So the even though he's a loner, the reroll used on the Crocs successful. And he bites the head of that Orc. It's nasty. Gronz is sitting there holding his bloody head, screaming out loud, wondering what the hell just happened and what is that intense pain. In the meantime, here comes the those sneaky stunty. Was that an attempted dodge with a Saurus? Wow, that was ballsy.
No, he does have dodge, but yeah.
Oh, he does. Okay. So it makes a 33% dodge into about a 50% dodge. Still.
55.
Okay,
yeah.
So more than likely, a preponderance of the evidence, if you will. He tries to keep him away, and here comes another hit. Man, these Orcs, just every blow is just nasty. Look at that uppercut. Oh, Saurus all over the place. I haven't seen a snuff film like this since college. And Fan Fox says Agi 4 skinks are a gift from Nuffle. The hit on the Crocs, all it manages to do is pull him off of the ball carrier, but that may be enough.
Yeah, that'll
If
let
this
him move
Crocs
up.
had break tackle, it could change the dynamic here. But
Oh,
yeah,
completely.
do you do that first or move with the skink? Ghekos have one more reroll. All right, so you can move the Crocs up, and then you need the dive tackle skink to make it. He does manage to dodge away, and this is going to be a problem. The other skink can't get there, and he burns his last reroll. Wow, this coach has burned through 6 rerolls. Dymntd. And by the way, I think we're caught up. I think this is live, right?
No, the game is over.
Oh, okay.
Sadly.
All right. Don't tell me what happened. But unfortunately, I have an inkling now. So we're seeing I should know it's not live because every player is moving so fast with no deliberation. And here comes the Black Orc. Block at first does not succeed, but then there's the big blue arrow pushing the ball carrier away. And can he skip the tail? Yes, he does. And 2-1 victory here for another beer. That was a 67% dodge with the reroll.
No, it was a 4+. So with the reroll, it was 75% actually.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Was it 4+?
Yeah, because of the prehensile tail, and it was an. Or wait, no, was that
I
the
thought
AG4?
the ball carrier was I think he was the AG4, the ball carrier. So which would have made it 67%, and then if you factor in the reroll, it's much more. So the reroll had been burnt, but there was no he had dodge. He had dodge. Okay.
But he had dodge, yeah.
Cool. Wow. That was a very entertaining game. I mean, definitely gave us our money's worth, right? And it was actually kind of cool watching it with no delay. But 13 armor breaks to 3. That was the story, man. The Ghekos just couldn't get it done. This orc team is a monster, dude. Monster.
Yeah. They gave it their best. That was pretty brutal being down the best source the entire game. He just refused to wake up.
I think it may have been I see what they did. I kind of like this reckless abandon, create hate and discontent, havoc defense that the Ghekos have. But it was a tactical, ended up being tactically bad to mark everybody up the way that he did in the beginning, because with this team with all the mighty blow and the pylon available, which didn't even factor in, and the fouling, some of which did happen, it was too much for the Lizards to take, and they can't afford to have took that kind of attrition. 66 blocks from here for another beer compared to the 29 coming for the Lizards. 2 KOs, 4 injuries for here for another beer. The Ghekos didn't even knock anybody out. This is 3 armor breaks all match. Tough. For some reason, I almost feel like Elves might be best equipped to deal with this Orc team because you're not going to fight them. You're just going to dodge away from them.
Yeah, if you can keep your fellas healthy and play the ball, yeah, I can see that giving the Orcs some trouble. They only have 2 tackle pieces, right?
Yeah,
that can be a liability. That really can.
Although I'm not going to test a lot of those hits. I'm not going to give them that many shots. So if I can help it anyway. But thanks for joining me, man. Another great first round matchup, and we've got another one scheduled for tomorrow already. I want to say it's I forget which match is already committed to it. I think it's Trippers' match. I think it is the Undead match versus, so it's the Expended, the other Undead team, versus the Knights of the Round Table. Now the Expended is the only Undead team left in the Cup, still alive. The Knights of the Round Table is what, the human team, right? Yep. So they'll be playing tomorrow evening. And we'll be monitoring the chat, of course, to see if we can bring you one of the 3 other games that are on the horizon to be played upcoming for this round. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Another big shout out to my co-host, Dymntd. Thanks for giving up so much of your time to do this. And we made some magic here on air, and hopefully you guys were entertained. Talk to you later.